All right, so everyone get ready, because today we are taking a deep dive into all the behind-the-scenes stuff from this year's Oscars.
Ooh, yes. The stuff we don't see on the red carpet.
Exactly. We're not focusing on the movies themselves, but on the people, the campaigns, all that drama.
Yeah, it's like its own competition almost.
Right. And we're going to focus specifically on two nominees, Karla Sofia Gascon and Fernanda Torres.
Well, they kind of got caught in the middle of a media whirlwind recently, didn't they?
Yeah, so we're going to unpack that whole situation. Was Gascon trying to, sabotage Torres' campaign?
Or was it all just a big misunderstanding blown way out of proportion by social media?
Well, let's find out.
Okay, so to set the stage, it all started with an interview Gascon gave. She was talking about all the negative attention her film, Imstillhere, was getting.
I actually haven't seen it yet. Have you?
I have not seen it, but I've definitely read a lot about it, and it's gotten some mixed reviews.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Right. So Gascon is understandably a little frustrated, and in this interview, she kind of implies that maybe some of that negativity is coming from Torres' camp.
Ooh, that's juicy.
It is, and that's where things get interesting, because the internet, being the internet, latched onto that insinuation, and it just blew up from there.
Okay, but hold on. Wouldn't any actor who is up for an Oscar be a little on edge if their film was getting slammed in the press?
Oh, for sure. The pressure is immense.
Why was Gascon's comment seen as some sort of attack on Torres specifically?
Well, because the Academy has all those super strict rules about how nominees are supposed to behave during awards season.
Ah, yes, the whole campaigning thing.
Right, you can't badmouth the competition even subtly.
And in the age of social media, every little word is analyzed and retweeted and reposted.
Yeah, every little comment can be twisted into something it wasn't.
So Gascon was definitely playing with fire there, especially knowing how the Academy can be.
I don't mess around.
Didn't they disqualify someone a few years ago for something similar? I can't remember who it was, but I remember them coming down hard.
You're absolutely right. There was a situation a few years ago where a nominee was actually disqualified for breaking the campaigning rules.
Yeah, see.
And the Academy's always taken these rules seriously. It goes all the way back to the 1930s.
Wow, really?
Yeah, when they first started writing down the rules about what's okay and what's not okay in terms of campaigning.
It's like they had a premonition about Twitter feuds or something.
Right. And it makes sense. The Academy wants to keep things fair. They want to make sure the focus stays on the movies and the performances, not on all the behind-the-scenes drama.
I get it.
So for a while, it really seemed like Gascon might get penalized.
I bet.
The whole thing got picked up by all the major media outlets. It was everywhere.
Yeah, I remember seeing headlines about it.
But ultimately, the Academy decided not to punish her.
Interesting.
They basically said that she hadn't directly attacked Torres or her film. I'm still here.
So they gave her the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. They saw it more as like a general comment about how competitive Hollywood can be.
Okay, but let's be real. Hollywood is competitive, right?
Oh, yeah. That's putting it mildly. It's super cutthroat, especially during awards season.
So in a way, Gascon was kind of just saying what everyone was already thinking.
Yeah, and I think this whole situation really shows just how tricky it is for nominees these days.
It's like they're walking a tightrope.
Exactly, one wrong word, and it's all over social media.
I bet that's stressful.
Super stressful, and it's a good reminder that what might seem like a harmless vent in private can easily get blown out of proportion online.
Oh yeah, totally. I actually feel like I need to be more careful about what I say online.
Don't we all?
So Gascon did try to do some damage control later on.
She did, yeah. She released a statement where she clarified that she wasn't targeting Torres personally.
And that they were actually on good terms.
Right. She even called Torres a wonderful ally.
So all that rivalry stuff was totally made up by the media.
Pretty much the internet loves a good catfight.
It does, doesn't it? And what about Torres? How does she react to all of this?
She was incredibly gracious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she posted a video on Instagram where she talked about running into Gascon at an event and how friendly they were.
Oh, that's nice.
She even praised Gascon's performance in Imstillhere.
Wow, so the complete opposite of what the media was portraying.
Exactly. It just goes to show that what we see online is often just a tiny piece of the real story.
And that we should always be skeptical of those juicy narratives.
Absolutely. Things are rarely as black and white as they seem on social media.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's like that old saying, right? Don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. Or in this case, don't judge an Oscar campaign by its Twitter feed.
Right. So much happens behind the scenes that we never see.
And you know, it's interesting. The whole Gascon Torres thing, it actually raises some bigger issues that go beyond just the gossip.
Oh, like what?
Well, representation for one.
Oh, okay.
And the specific challenges that actors from marginalized communities face in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's a good point. Gascon's experience as a transgender actress definitely adds another layer to this whole controversy.
For sure. And it's especially relevant when you consider some of the criticism that Imstillhere Perez has received.
What kind of criticism?
Well, some people have questioned whether the film really captures the nuances of Mexican culture and the transgender experience authentically.
Yeah.
Especially since it was directed by a French filmmaker.
So it becomes a question of who gets to tell these stories, right?
Exactly. And it makes you wonder if Gascon's identity as a transgender actress played a role in the level of scrutiny she faced.
That's a really interesting question.
Like, would a cisgender actress in the same situation have received the same amount of backlash?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's almost impossible to separate the art from the artist in these situations.
Yeah, and from the context, too.
Right. Like, the controversy becomes the lens through which we view everything else.
Even the film itself.
But you know what? It's important to remember that amidst all this drama, both Gascon and Torres have accomplished amazing things.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Torres's Golden Globe win was historic,
It was incredible.
and Gascon's nomination is groundbreaking.
For sure.
Regardless of who wins the Oscar, they've both made a huge impact on cinema.
Totally. Their talent is undeniable.
And this whole incident, I think, also highlights how crucial clear communication is in the entertainment industry.
Especially with social media being such a huge factor these days.
Right. Like, how can we prevent these kinds of misunderstandings from happening in the future?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It's tricky because social media moves so fast.
And it's so easy for things to get taken out of context.
Exactly. So I think a good starting point is to just remember that what we see online doesn't always reflect reality.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
It's often filtered, manipulated, even driven by algorithms that prioritize engagement over accuracy.
So we need to be more discerning about what we believe.
Yes. It's all about taking a step back, looking at things from multiple perspectives.
And not jumping to conclusions based on a few tweets or headlines.
Exactly. And as we head into the final stretch of award season with all the red carpets and the parties and the buzz,
Maybe we should all take a moment to reflect on.
this whole idea of social media narratives and how much power we give them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a world where these online narratives dominate awards campaigns, how much weight should we really give them? It's easy to get caught up in it all, right? The predictions and the gossip, who's going to win, who's going to lose.
Oh, yeah, especially on social media. It's like a constant stream of takes and hot takes.
But maybe we should be focusing more on, the movies themselves.
The art, the craft, the storytelling.
Exactly. That's what these awards are supposed to be celebrating, right?
Absolutely. And that's why I think everyone listening should check out both Imstillhere Perez and Imstillhere.
Yeah. Form your own opinions.
Don't let the online chatter influence you.
Watch the films and decide for yourselves what you think.
Exactly.
Well, this has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
We got a glimpse behind the curtain of Hollywood, saw how all this stuff plays out.
Yeah, it's a whole different world behind those red carpet smiles.
And it just keeps changing,
Yeah.
especially with social media being such a big force.
But at the end of the day, it always comes back to the stories.
The human connections we make with the characters and the narratives that stay with us.
Exactly.
So as we get closer to the Oscars,
Let's try to remember to look beyond the headlines.
beyond all the controversy, and really appreciate the hard work and the artistry that goes into making these films.
It's been great talking about all this with you.
Likewise. And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll see you next time.